Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Homemade Broadcast, episode 441. That's what happens when you copy and paste. Welcome, Anna Hummel. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing okay. I'm severely unmotivated today for reasons I don't quite understand. But it was very hard to get anything done today because I just didn't want to do life today or ever.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's
do you?
Because normal.
Usually I'm a pretty motivated individual. Some days more than others, but today was especially bad. I didn't want to do anything. But
well, you've had off for a few days, right? Maybe
5 days
routine,
which is weird because usually you think the more time you have off, the more refreshed you would be and ready to go back. But in actuality, it's really the opposite. You get into a new routine of doing nothing, and now you don't want to do anything ever again.
I understand. Yeah, that's one of the big things with like vacation. That I couldn't enjoy vacation because I just thought about eventually I'm going to have to do something.
Yeah,
like, I have to be somewhere at a certain time, and it's like remember on Fridays whenever Friday would roll around, be like it's the weekend and it's almost Monday in a few days.
You would always say that. You would always say that. Yes.
And it's a perverse worldview to have, but it's my worldview. And it's kind of good, though, because it keeps me not enjoying anything for too long and getting through the process of knowing that I'm going to have to go back to work at some point and facing it head on. So I'm not surprised by it. Always try to get a little bit ahead. But it's also probably not healthy mentality either. But, you know, that's just the way I am. It was nice to see you over 4th of July. I see you have all your fingers, all your toes. Everything's there, right?
Yes, we're good. I did get close to some fireworks, but I was not actually the one setting them off. So I'm good. Everyone around me is good. It was I don't know about you, Will, but I think this 4th of July was pretty much the perfect 4th of July. Like it was a great day from start to finish.
I had a great time. We had we don't have a boat personally, but we know people who have access to a boat, and that's really, you know, the way to do it. I mean, that's the old moniker that people use. And you're not responsible for anything. You just go, you bring some alcohol. You don't have to worry about driving the boat. You go. We went with our friend Kevin, and we went to Egmont Key and docked. And I drank tequila straight out of the bottle and stood in waist-deep water for many hours, got a little bit sunburned. And
I went on the shore and peed myself for about an hour straight, and it was lovely. We all we're doing the things that we love. You know, I'm always going to the bathroom, always having to pee. It was just so nice to just sit and pee on myself for about an hour straight. I felt like a baby every time the urge came. You just go.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that. You know, I'm afraid of the water, and I'm noticing more and more. Now, I don't know if it's just I'm noticing it more or there's more attacks. Noticing a lot of gator attacks. There's a few shark attacks over the weekend. And that's my fear. Stingrays, getting stung by a stingray is terrifying. Jellyfish. I don't
mess with aquatic life. We saw that snook in the water, and that fully freaked me out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, those things won't mess with you, but, you know, I feel like I'm due.
Big.
It was big, but yeah, they won't. Those things won't mess with you. But if there's a snook in the water, maybe there's a shark in there.
A larger fish, correct? Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I was a little off-put by that. And for many years, I did not go in the water because of that fact. When I was a child, I swam out to the buoy. And I remember swimming out there, feeling accomplished as a young man, 12, 13 years old, and looking down and seeing a huge shadow go underneath my feet. It was a giant shark. It's probably a shark, harmless. I don't know. And I swam back to shore, and I said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go in the water anymore. I think I'm done. And really haven't since then. But since Destin and seeing the clear water there, I went in the ocean there. I'm a little nervous, but typically I'm drinking if I'm in the water, which I was there. And then I had, you know, a nice big bottle of tequila to go into. And then I can't, much like you, I can't control my bladder anymore. If I'm drinking, I definitely have to pee.
Yeah.
And you know, even when I'm not drinking, I have to pee.
Same, yeah.
So now I'm just like, I have to go in the water to use the toilet. So I'm gonna have to get used to it again. So it's kind of been a good thing getting back in touch with my backyard. I
Yes.
grew up here and getting in the water, but it was a little I'm definitely my head's on a swivel looking around. Although I'm sure you won't see it if it actually does happen and comes to
Yeah,
that.
no way. I saw that snook and I just kept kind of booking it to the shoreline. I wasn't really staying in the water for too long. Tried to go on the boat, but it kept rocking and it was making me sick. So, I had to do what I had to do. But it was a great day. Got lots of sun, hung out with people, ate great food, drank to my heart's content, and just A+ day.
Yeah. Yeah, blast. Although I didn't see any fire. Well, that's not entirely true. I went home pretty early and I watched a few fireworks from the neighborhood people. No, I plan on going down, maybe riding the bike down to the pier, but I didn't make it. I didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I sat in my zero gravity chair with a seltzer and watched a few fireworks go off. And I went inside, which bummed me out a little bit, but I made do. That was fine. I can wait a few more months until New Year's to get a really good 4th
You
of July.
really like the fireworks show, don't you?
I do. I enjoy it. I don't know why. I used to be afraid of them when I was a kid, but it's kind of a full body experience. It tickles many senses. You see it and they're kind of cool looking, and then you can smell the gunpowder in the air. You can feel the explosion.
Mhm.
That's what's kind of off-putting a little bit about the drone shows. Even though they're very cool, they don't have that same. They don't tickle all the senses.
No, I mean, it's like watching a concert on someone's Instagram versus being there. You're never going to capture the experience, so why even bother? Like, why are you recording this? It's not the same, not even close. So,
oh yeah, 100%. There was a few, of course. There's good videos online of some fireworks gone wrong, which is one of my favorite things.
the Terry one, I imagine you're referring to.
No, that one's old news. I mean, just new ones from this past year. I'm assuming one of them was rapper Chief Keef. Are you familiar with him?
I'm not. No.
Okay, well, he almost burned down his house. I'm gonna try to.
Whoa.
I'm my own producer here, so bear with me a minute. I'm gonna share
Okay.
the screen here, and I'm going to pull it up. I have it pulled up here on Twitter, so we can all watch it together. Here we go.
Oh no.
Hold on,
Oh
I
no.
gotta pull it all the way back. Let's see. Okay, we're in the shot. That one's in the shot. All right, good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play this and enjoy Chief Keef almost blowing up his house.
They're just laughing. I mean, what else could you do?
A bit intense there, my God. Yeah, a little bit intense there. Yeah, I don't know what happened exactly with that one. That is a shocking, though, of those poor people just getting blown up. But that's part of the fun.
That's part of the thrill. Now, I don't know if you know this about my boyfriend Chris, but he actually makes fireworks. Did you know that?
I did hear that. He kind of told me that, and I was hoping maybe he brought some because I wanted to light some off. But unfortunately, I guess he didn't do that. It's a shame because I would have loved.
So the following morning we had quite a discussion about how fireworks operate because I'm a very curious person and I don't know anything about fireworks, obviously. So I was learning about all the different compartments within a single firework and how it what causes it to lift off. And then apparently there's like a timing chamber thing, and then the actual explosion and how you get the specific colors from the firework. Not that I remember really much of it, but the general concepts still are fresh in my mind. So it's an interesting thing.
So he didn't make any to blow off himself this year.
No, and I think the ones that he makes really, I think you need a large field space in the event that something goes wrong. You need a lot of area. He probably didn't want to do it in a residential area. It seems like he has a a group of camping friends that go out into the wilderness, and they do crazy stuff. I've seen some videos before that were kind of much like the video we just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but about 400 times as powerful, like crazy.
Do you have any? Now, you grew up predominantly in California. I can imagine our fireworks banned there. I can imagine in California.
I don't think so. I remember people shooting them off. I never did. I didn't have any friends. You have to understand, like, first off, I wasn't cool growing up ever. So it was rare that I had like male friends. It was mostly just me and my like loser chick friends. And girls and boys are very different. Girls don't like to mess with dangerous stuff. You know, I wasn't like, hey, Diva, please put down that sparkler. Like, we weren't interested in potentially harming ourselves. So we never had any, like, even our dads never did any fireworks or anything, but we would often go to like a place to watch fireworks, like
Right.
Disneyland, or, you know, we had a pier where I grew up, so there were fireworks there. But
did people have them in your neighborhood? Was that a thing?
no, maybe like the things you, what is it? The pop rocks, the things that you hit the ground with, and it's
right. Yeah.
yeah, like stuff like that, but
sparkler.
nothing significant. No, I don't remember any of that.
Right. Right. I mean, growing up in Florida, obviously fireworks were a big part of my childhood, and we would have so much fun with those things. I mean, very dangerous.
Yes,
things that
they're bombs, you know.
Literally, yeah. We would make. There was a redneck across the street. His name was Bill as well. Bill was a great guy, hilarious dude. He had a half a foot because he got it run over by a train when he was a child.
Naturally.
Grew up in Tennessee. He had a dog tattooed on his weird half foot, and he would kind of shake it around like a puppet and entertain us kids with it. And one year, he when he was living across the street from us, of course, Bilbo had all the fireworks. I mean, it's a stereotype, and he lived it. So he had a unique strategy with fireworks, and I understood why he had 1 foot during this time, because he was very reckless with these things. He would, the mortars. The process with the mortars is it's the same circumference as the bomb, right? The tube that it goes into. So you would take this tube and stick it up, and then you would put the mortar in, and then the fuse would stick out of the top.
Right.
Long fuse, and then you would light the fuse back up, and it would launch out perfectly upright. And Bill decided, I'm not doing it that way. I don't like to do it that way. I have my own way of doing this thing, which is I'm going to try to, I called it Bozoing the Clown, this firework, which I don't know if you're familiar with WGN's Bozo show, but they used to have a game called the bucket game, and they would have 6 buckets lined up with 1 through 6, and then 1 was pretty close, and then the 6 was a little bit farther away. And then what you do is you'd throw a ping pong ball into these buckets. Now, he decided that he was going to do this with a mortar firework. This is one of the big ones that boom, make the noise and go up into your chest, and that you can see, feel, hear, taste, smell. And he decides he's going to do that. So he takes the mortar, lights it, and tries to toss it in the perfectly round, small circumference. I mean, we're talking like this big at best that he's trying to make it into. And of course, he misses. I mean, he's not going to make this shot. Kobe Bryant make this shot. And of course, it missed, and it went flying and hit a lady's house and exploded. That was a great time. We used to have bottle rockets.
Was the house demolished, or?
No, it wasn't. But it did explode and definitely leave a mark on the home. Put it that way. And she was none too happy about this, but everyone kind of understood. Like, that's just part of the deal. You know, this is Florida. It's 4th of July. Somebody might get hurt and perhaps some damaged property. But so it was not encouraged, but everyone knew it could happen living on this block. Yeah, we would do that. We would do the bottle rocket fights. He lived across the street, so we'd make PVC guns and then put bottle rockets in there and then shoot bottle rockets at each other from across the street. That was always a lot of fun. We used to do something called firework baseball. And firework baseball was a very dangerous game where you took this mortar shell that you launch out of a tube, and instead you would light and then throw up in the air and try to hit it with a baseball bat to get it to, fly that way.
Right.
And, I'm not particularly a good athlete, so I would miss the majority of the time, and it would fall on the ground and then launch and go God knows where. There were so many things that could have killed us that we
Yes.
do with these things. And I'm so glad that I didn't blow. I think the craziest thing was a bottle rocket landed on my not my elbow, my shoulder, and then exploded, and I was kind of deaf for a little bit, but it came back. Thank God. That
Okay.
was the first thing that happened to me during that whole entire time, which I
Oh,
cannot
gosh.
believe.
That's wild. That's wild that your love of fireworks persists despite the fact that you know, danced with death many times, or at least hearing loss.
Yeah, yeah. One time we took this girl Helena that was a friend of ours. My buddy Adam decided to he was holding the launcher shell and putting the mortars in there, and then they would blow off out of the shell, and he would hold them, and it looked
Yeah.
cool. So he did that with her and had her hold it, and he put the mortar in backwards, and it was an accident, but it exploded, on top of her head, essentially. And she was deaf for a period of time. They were very concerned that she was deaf permanently because she was a musician, or she still is a musician, but she couldn't hear. And
Yeah,
obviously,
that's problematic. You know, she's probably not the next Beethoven, so I imagine she needs her hearing to be at least an adequate musician.
yeah. And luckily, it did come back, and she's still, plucking the guitar at different establishments across the Tampa Bay area. I mean, so many things. One of the things I don't understand, Anna, about the 4th of July, though,
Let me
is
explain it to you. Go ahead.
yeah, please, is the shooting guns off in the air. Every year this happens. And this is one of those things where I'm keeping a tally and a list of things that I can't believe don't happen more, where they should, because it's just, it happens all the time, but the repercussions don't come from these things.
I think people are expecting to hear a lot of explosions on that day. So I think that they're thinking that they can get away with it more easily because people will just kind of mistake it for a firework, and it won't cause as much alarm as it would on any other day of the year. Would
Right.
be my guess.
I think you're right, but the thing about that is it's a projectile that comes out and then it comes back down. It doesn't just go into space. It's coming back
Right.
in at some point. And I think that's one of the things that people don't understand, or if they do, they just think, like, what are the odds that it's going to hit somebody? But it always does. Last year this happened, and in Delray Beach there was a woman who was struck by gunfire on the 4th of July after she thought she just got hit by a firework. According to the police on Twitter, on July 4th around 9 p.m., a woman was treated at the hospital for an arm wound. Police say that the woman thought she had been struck by a stray firework, but doctors determined that she had been struck by a bullet, which was lodged in her arm. Non-threatening life injuries, luckily, but that's one of those things. People are doing that, a lot on that day, just firing those things off. But there was only one lady that got hit, so I guess,
and she's okay.
And she's okay. She is okay. Another thing with fireworks, I can't believe doesn't happen more, is I told you about Bill and the hitting the lady's house.
Yes.
I can't believe that doesn't end up in more fires. But it definitely,
Yeah.
It's
relatively infrequent for how many people are setting off fireworks, which means most people are doing them, at least somewhat correctly enough to avoid hurting others or damaging property. So it's pretty impressive, because I don't know about you, but on the drive home, crossing the bridge, Howard Franklin, I mean, we saw fireworks everywhere. Like even on the 275 before we hit Howard Franklin, I mean, it was just fireworks everywhere. It was awesome, actually.
Now, do you know how many fires in the Tampa Bay area that there were? Because I have the raw numbers, the raw data for
fires due to fireworks.
Yes.
No, I don't know the numbers.
There were 3 fires in less than 2 hours that kept Tampa Bay firefighters busy on July 4th. Hillsborough County Fire responded to a blaze on Sora Trace Street in Fishhawk at about 9:45 p.m. They saw heavy smoke and flame shooting through the home, and officials said at least one person was inside the home when the fire broke out, but was able to escape with his 2 dogs. A third dog is still missing. No injuries were reported. And then there was 2 more going back to Ashley Parkway in Sarasota, and that fire was extinguished around midnight, and all the residents were accounted for, so no injuries there. Officials said the blaze was caused by fireworks, but the incident is still being investigated. And then there was another in Dunedin, Pinellas County, and they were called to 600 block of Pinewood Drive in Dunedin. It's quickly extinguished by firefighters there. No one was injured. So, I mean, again, we're shooting guns off. We're shooting these fireworks off, irresponsibly, catching people's houses on fire. And nobody died. How did nobody die?
Well, this time around, we're lucky. But I feel like many have lost limbs and fingers and whatnot. So I guess we could just count our lucky stars this 4th of July.
We did have one hand blown off.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, it was a Florida man's hand was blown off by fireworks on early Saturday morning. Broward County, down south, deputies received a call regarding an incident involving fireworks just after 1 a.m. in Lauderdale Lakes in Florida on Saturday. When Brevard County Sheriff responded to the incident, the man, as well as his hand, were taken to an area hospital. The person was later taken to a different hospital by ambulance. A witness told the 7 News that the incident happened suddenly. He said it wasn't even like 5 minutes because as soon as he lights it, it exploded. And the man was taken to the hospital via a private vehicle, but the hand was taken to the hospital by Broward County Sheriff. So he didn't even bring his hand. He just went to the hospital. They had to bring it back, and they were not able to reattach it. So there was one small casualty, somebody's hand. But he even lived, getting your hand blown off.
Yes. Well, thankfully.
I think God or the universe or whatever you want to call it looks over this holiday and says
it's a good one. 4th of July is always a good one in my mind. It's never a some holidays, like we've talked about this before when we did Stay Woke often during the holiday season. Christmas can be kind of bittersweet, or New Year's can be bittersweet, or even Thanksgiving can be bittersweet, when things are rough for you. But 4th of July is just a good holiday. You could be just going through the worst time ever, breakup, divorce, death, but like a 4th of July is just a good time. There's no bittersweetness. Does that make sense?
Well, it's hard to. It's not a sentimental holiday like.
No, it's not. It's just about fun, summer, getting drunk. Like that's
it. Yeah, pools, beach, being scantily clad,
right?
Hooking up,
right?
Hopefully,
It's not about family. I mean, it can be, but it's not, like you said, it's not in a sentimental way, or we're sitting around breaking bread. It's you're doing like a beer bong or something. You know what I mean? And I like that about that holiday. Some holidays are meant to be vapid and are meant to be shallow, and 4th of July is that. It's nice.
It is nice, and I wish that some of my friends, and probably yours too, would have taken a day off from posting just the dumbest things on social media that day. But also,
I didn't even go on social media that day. Was it a lot of politics or something?
Oh, absolutely. It was that, essentially that America doesn't deserve a birthday this year. It doesn't deserve to be so.
I see.
Because things are happening that people don't like. But my God, I mean, can't we enjoy anything?
No.
The answer is no. Right. I think that's the answer, is absolutely not. You can't enjoy anything right now because I'm not getting what I want. So if I'm miserable, you have to be miserable. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I know that your behind is eating a hot dog and having a beer today. I know this is just performative. I mean, how can you? I want to see video of you and not just memes that you found online, but I want to see a video of you miserable.
Right.
Do it. Go full tilt. I want to see you in a dark room pouting. And I didn't see any of that. It was more just memes about how nobody deserves to have a good time today. And it was sad. I wish I would have taken a day off, but also at the same time, I go, you know what? That's what this holiday is kind of all about, is posting dumbass stuff on social media. And you're right to do so.
Sure.
So I kind of respected it, even though I disagreed with it. I go, look, this is your day too. As an American, it's your right. And I hope you enjoy. But anyway, I'm going to go finish off this fourth hot dog and drink the rest of this tequila straight out of the bottle and sit in a pool and appreciate the small things and appreciate summer and appreciate the people I was around, the company I had. And it was a phenomenal time. It's one of my favorite holidays.
It really was a great day from start to finish, and everything that you want the 4th of July to be. You know, it was great weather for us. Apparently, we were dodging rain left and right. You know, we found our way on a beautiful local island with beautiful water, and it was warm, and the sun was out, and great food, and good people, and music, and drinks, and it was a 10 out of 10. Like, it was such a great time. Phenomenal.
Yeah. 813-693-2124 is the voice and text line here. If you had any crazy fireworks stories, I would love to hear them. I know it's a little bit late now, but I would still love to hear them. I love those. I do have one more video I want to show you.
Okay, one more.
It was really good. Now, do you know what the, I guess, business side of fireworks are? Like how much, what the cap of fireworks are for the country?
No.
$1.9 billion.
Wow.
What Americans spend on fireworks. That's insane. It isn't limited to Independence Day, of course. There's, theme parks light them off. I think Busch Gardens does it every day. 262 million in revenue in 2021. And wasn't that when a lot of states just didn't do anything because it was, COVID lockdowns and stuff?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. States that tightly regulate fireworks have a solid rationale. Exploring things can be dangerous. 538% spike in injuries on July 4th in many places. States across the country saw a massive uptick in the number of fireworks being purchased and set off, often recklessly and illegally during the pandemic, and total sales are only expected to grow. Now, I wanted to see what Florida's was because I was a little disappointed in Florida. I thought it was going to be super high. I mean, they were just outside the top 10, but can you guess the state that spends the most? The largest increases in fireworks spending since 2008, if you were to take a guess.
I want to say California just because it's a big state.
California not on the list. That is a communist state, and they do not participate in fireworks. No, absolutely not.
Well, maybe I should take it to the south. Is it Texas?
Texas is a great guess, but no Texas.
Maybe Tennessee.
Tennessee, another good guess, but no, you are on the right track as far as the South goes.
Mississippi, Louisiana.
No, you're guessing them all, but the right ones. I'll just tell you.
All right.
Surprisingly, Utah is up there. Wisconsin, South Carolina, Connecticut. Okay. Missouri, Maine, South Dakota, Arizona, Georgia coming in at number 2, and number 1, Nevada, which I'm assuming has to do with Las Vegas right there.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida was just outside of the top 10 there. It was a little disappointing, but maybe next year we'll go get them. Okay, I was saving this video for last. So this is a really good one. In fact, I'm going to try to make it, just bear with me a minute. I'm having to be my own producer here. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to do this one. I'm going to share this, going through the process. Can you see it? You can. All right. I'm going to make this full screen and play.
The baby?
Who did that? You gotta put it in the shoe.
Is everyone okay?
I have no idea. I'm assuming so. I certainly hope so. My favorite is the Simply Safe logo up at the top there.
Oh my God.
My God. Yeah, that's great.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah,
in the worst way.
If you're listening to this on audio, I encourage you to go check out the YouTube stream of this. Just search HMB Radio. because it's definitely worth seeing. I must have watched that, I don't know, 25 times
Oh
in the
my
past
God.
few
Yeah,
hours.
it's a good one. I
Oh,
just hope everyone is alive before I start making jokes, you know?
yeah, yeah. But it's one of those things where you go, it should happen. I mean, there should be mass casualties from how just inept these people are. Like, you see people out in the street and you go, I don't know how you keep yourself alive. And then we give them access to not only firearms but fireworks, which
Right.
more people even take advantage of. And bad things can happen, much. And then you got to think about not only user error, but we're buying these things from China. I don't
Right.
think China might be like, let's make the fuse, few inches shorter and see what happens. Just
Yeah, you don't really know what you're getting ever, so you got to be careful out there.
much
For
like they did with like things like fentanyl and
Mhm.
put them over here working with the cartels. So yeah, it's a good time. I can't believe that people just aren't dead. There was a story a few years ago where a guy got his head blown off and died. But that's once every few years. You always get somebody blows their hand off. They had Tampa Bay Buccaneer, former Buccaneer JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul has his weird Ninja Turtle hand now, where he's got mangled
Yeah,
in
I
it.
remember that. And I mean, that's part of the risk, right? Because for the 99.999% of everybody else who played with fireworks, they had a great time. It was a memorable experience in the best way. But part of that is because you know that there's some risk involved, and that's why it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is fun to play with fireworks. It just is, and I think people all understand that they might blow their head off, or at best their hand. But most of the time, nothing happens. But that's part of our freedom of being an American, is the ability to
Exactly.
do this stupid ass stuff. And you'll get a cool Ninja Turtle hand out of it, or have a good
Exactly.
story. Have a good story to tell at your office party. Walk in with your weird Ninja Turtle hand, and then it can be like, what happened? You'll always have an icebreaker from that point
Yes.
on. I don't know how people do the see his hand. I don't think he wraps it up when he plays, but he must. I mean, I'm assuming he just walks around with it. I don't know how people don't go, what happened to your hand? Because
I
there's
mean, because he has some sort of, celebrity status, people probably already know, you
right,
know?
but
So,
there's got to be people like Bill, my across the street neighbor with his half foot, that you just go, what's going on here? I feel like
yeah,
people are too kind,
too
to what you.
polite.
If
Yeah.
someone's got a big mole on their face or something, usually you don't bring that stuff up.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got something weird like that, I would just think, I don't know how you wouldn't go, whoa, what's going on there? Anna, did you hear about the professional soccer team that the Tampa Bay is getting?
The Rowdies?
No, not the Rowdies. The indoor professional soccer team. The National Indoor Soccer League announced today that the Tampa's Yingling Center will be home to the newest expansion team. The team will compete in a 24-game regular season beginning in December. It will be made up of both a men's and women's division. So I guess they'll do double headers. When you go watch one game, you'll be able to watch the ladies and the men's. The official name and details will be unveiled on July 11th at 10 a.m. Do you care at all
Oh,
about?
no.
I feel like if any sport you would be into, soccer might be one of them. You seem like a soccer person.
Thank you. I think, no. Nope. Don't care. And I also care less because everybody else, like, there's no hype with soccer. So it's not fun. Like, the only hype you hear from soccer is like political, gender pay gap stuff. And that doesn't get you excited about the sport. That annoys you, you know? So no, I don't. I've been to one Rowdies game and I think I'm good for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I still enjoy those. I don't know. I don't really understand the game of soccer. It seems a lot like hockey though, so I could kind of pick it up. But yeah, I'm glad to have another sports franchise here at the Tampa Bay area. Why not? Very exciting. And
Mhm.
I would love to go check out a game, even though I'll have no idea what the hell is happening. 813-693-2124 is the voice and text line. HMBradio.com is the website. You going to karate class today?
I sure am. I was in a funk yesterday as well where I just didn't want to do anything, so I didn't go to class yesterday, which I somewhat regret, but sometimes you just got to commit to the decision. So instead of going, I ate cake. Ate cake.
Did you have one of those nightmare days for you where you just become a bottomless pit?
Oh, yeah.
11?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to monitor what I was eating. I didn't want to overeat because I was planning on going. And then kind of last minute, like the last hour, I was like, I'm not going to go. So I didn't go, and I ended up eating cake. I've recently been introduced to the milk on the cake concept. I did not know that was a thing. I thought people drank the milk with the cake. I didn't know that they took a bowl, put the cake in the bowl, and then poured the milk over the cake. So, much like a baby boy who's just discovered his penis, I've now discovered this, and all I want now is just milk on my cake.
Oh, that's a real fat move.
Yeah.
That's a real fat
Oh,
move.
yeah. And then you just drink the milk with the cake particles in it, and it's cereal, essentially,
Yeah.
It is. I'm eating it with a spoon, please. So, it was good. But now that I usually don't take on Wednesdays, but that means, I need to get back on the grind, which means I need to get ready to get my ass whooped for the next 2 hours. So,
well, it was a pleasure to speak with you, Anna. It was great seeing you. I hope to see you again soon. It was great to have your boyfriend come by, and I sent you $20 for him.
Thank you very much. We were not expecting that. So, thank you. I wasn't looking for money, and I sent it his way. So he's got it.
All right, good. I just want to make sure you're not embezzling funds here. So I wanted to announce it publicly that I sent him money via you.
No.
Anna, great to speak with you again, and I'll talk to you next week.
Yes, thank you for having me. Good day. Goodbye, everyone. Happy 4th.
She's going to karate class. Goodbye, Anna. Thanks for tuning in. That was fun. I know it was a little bit late with the firework talk, but I saw those videos and I gotta show you all this. I'm not sure if you have access to Twitter. Many of you don't. So that's where I find all these things. But 813-693-2124. Be on the Johnny B show. Well, actually, I'm taking the night off tonight, but I'll be hosting on Thursday and Friday. I'm going to have Ali from Paid Vacation, and he's going to be co-hosting with me, so that'll be a good time. Johnny B will be out performing comedy and stuff, so that'll be fun. And I think next week, Johnny and I are going to keep covering the Mike Calta show a few days a week, so tune in for that. Otherwise, talk to you Thursday. Goodbye.